What is going on, everyone? Nostalgia925 coming at you with another Explaining Digimon episode that will serve as a little correction to the previous Explaining Digimon episode. I'm referring back to the Explaining Tyrannomon Digivolution line video where I forgot to mention a Digimon that was also very linked to Tyrannomon. For that I did receive some backlash. Now, to be fair, I'm not even going to say that I forgot to mention the Digimon. It was poor research, for which I apologize sincerely. Please accept my apologies and allow me to say the following. Make sure to subscribe to get some more Digimon content, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Anyway, which Digimon that is linked to Tyrannomon did I forget to mention? Try to look at the bright side, because that forgotten Digimon will now get its own video. The forgotten Digimon is none other than ExTyrannomon, the puppet Digimon. Get ready, my friends, even if I am talking about just one Digimon, you will witness how I will, again, find some way to stretch it out in a very nice and pleasant manner. Let us do that. To be brief, in the Explaining Tyrannomon video, I did tell you that there are 2 and now 3 confirmed Digimon that exist because of Tyrannomon's data. I'm not talking about its Digivolution, but really the data that shapes the ins and outs of Tyrannomon. Death Tyrannomon was the first example, a Digimon that took form after the Digimon Deathmon uploaded the data of a Tyrannomon. The other example was Mame Tyrannomon, who condensed Tyrannomon's data into its tiny body. And by the way, Mame Tyrannomon, or Mame Tyrannomon if you would, is reminding me of a video I once made about GABUMON, who used a similar technique of taking data. After studying GABUMON thoroughly, I came to the conclusion that GARURUMON isn't even its real Digivolution. My theory is that it only digivolved into GARURUMON by it gathering up the data which were left behind by GARURUMON. I went as far as to claim that CYCLONEMON could pretty much be the most appropriate Digivolution for GABUMON. You can find these videos in the description box. The point I'm trying to make is that Mame Tyrannomon did something similar as GABUMON. It gathered the data of Tyrannomon. Now, this hopefully brings us to the last honorable mention that I forgot to include, the puppet Digimon ExTyrannomon. Boy, when I was reading its profile, I admit I got excited for numerous reasons, and I'm sure you guys are also going to get interested because we'll dive deeper and deeper. Let me just start with its type, the puppet type. To be fair, I do realize that I do not talk enough about the puppet type Digimon. I do talk about the Chessmon family and might have mentioned some puppet type Digimon every now and then, but we don't talk a lot about them, and that's what is suddenly making me like that type even more. It's because they seem so unimportant, so irrelevant, and yet they have a certain allure, a certain charm. Let me tell you why. You see, in the Digimon universe, there are numerous types of Digimon. Dragons and dinosaurs, insects, fish, etc. And if you do your due diligence, you'll come to understand that they all have their own respective ancestors, which can be traced back to the 10 legendary warriors who gave them the powers they now possess. Let me explain by going over these 10 warriors. Ancient Greymon, as the warrior of flame, passed its powers to those Digimon of the dragon type. Now, what you have to know is that, through time, Digimon data somehow began to mix, because you now have lots of dragon variations which sometimes take the form of dinosaurs. Heck, some dragon Digimon like CYCLONEMON live underwater, and it's a bit of a mystery whether it still has these powers given by its ancestor, or whether it disappeared and became something entirely different. You get the drill. Ancient GARURUMON, as the warrior of light, passed its powers to those of the beast type. Ancient Beetlemon, as the warrior of thunder, passed its powers to the insect type, which explains why Tentomon is an electric user. Ancient Kazimon, as the warrior of wind, passed its powers to the birdman and fairy types. These are 2 or even 3 types if you include the bird type Digimon. Ancient Megatheriumon, as the warrior of ice, passed its powers to the mammal and ice type Digimon. Ancient Sphinxmon, as the warrior of darkness, passed its powers to the mythical animal type and the demon beast type, which are a lot, by the way. Ancient Mermaidmon, as the warrior of water, passed its powers to all the aquatic Digimon. Ancient Troyamon, as the warrior of wood, passed its powers to the plant type. Ancient Wisemon, as the warrior of steel, passed its powers to the mutant type. And as the warrior of steel, I think it might also be an ancestor of those mechanical Digimon, although these are usually built. Anyway, we can always theorize about it in another video. And to finish, Ancient Volcanomon, as the warrior of earth, passed its powers to the rock species, or rock species and mineral type. Now, why am I saying this? As these 10 are the ancestors of almost all Digimon type in existence, notice I said almost all types, some of these other types are not included, it has come to my notice that none of them are the ancestors of the puppet type. Now you could say that the puppet type are just another type like the dinosaurs are for dragons, but what would that mean for the puppet type Digimon? They can't be another variation to the rock and mineral type or even the plant type Digimon. So unless you can prove me wrong, but I'd say that the origins of puppet Digimon are a bit shrouded in mystery, and because of it, it's also hard to know what they could potentially do. And that's a thing I like a lot about puppet type Digimon. I also think that they haven't been explored correctly by the developers and it could go any road now. There is no real description of the puppet type Digimon. The best description I found was in the Digimon Master Wiki. It says the following: puppet type Digimon are Digimon who are either controlled or possessed by some sort of controller of some kind. It can be anything from a spirit inside it or a certain code. It follows to no end. Is it a good description? It's hard to tell, but let us now, after talking so long about something else, discuss ExTyrannomon and see if that definition applies. Who is ExTyrannomon? We're talking about an ultimate puppet Digimon of the vaccine type. Its type, and the family it belongs to, are huge question marks. Let me tell you why. You see, Digimon with a vaccine attribute are the opposite of those with a virus attribute. Vaccine Digimon tend to return the environments which has been rewritten by virus Digimon back to normal. That is because virus Digimon love to dominate the area they reside in. They like to dye it into a color of their choice. Vaccine Digimon, as Crusaders, fight with great determination against that type of evil and stop injustice. Now, even if ExTyrannomon belongs to the vaccine type and could essentially be considered as a Digimon with a good alignment, when you look at its genes, it should raise a couple of bells. Genetic-wise, it belongs to the Nature Spirits family, the Metal Empire family, it has another gene that is unknown, and at last, it belongs to the Nightmare Soldiers family, what I consider to be the most important family a Digimon can belong to because it usually works as the dominant gene. Nightmare Soldiers are usually demonic or undead Digimon or those who dwell in haunted areas. I think that ExTyrannomon has more of that gene than what it could get from being a vaccine type. Let me explain why. You see, ExTyrannomon is actually the Digimon that is hiding inside the large pink Tyrannomon plush. Now the reason why it is a Tyrannomon plush toy is unclear, but it is likely that the mysterious Digimon that is stealing away inside just broke into the plush toy that was closest. We don't know anything about that Digimon that is hiding inside. I do have some interesting theories ahead, which you do not want to miss. Now, despite the mysteries behind ExTyrannomon, we know that it just wanders around the digital world. We don't know why. We don't know what its purpose may be. It is said that if nothing is pulling its strings, then it is nothing but an ornament. And that basically confirms the theory we found on the Digimon Masters wiki, which claims that puppet Digimon are usually used by someone or something. So we can assume that ExTyrannomon is just walking around in the Digimon world without purpose, and that is why it is defensive in nature. It fights only when it needs to defend itself. But you need to be careful. The Digimon, even if it appears to be a plush toy, it possesses power that is rivaling that of Monzaimon at its limit. And Monzaimon is another ultimate level Digimon and thus cannot be taken lightly. ExTyrannomon has the defensive power of an impregnable fortress, so ordinary Digimon and the like are usually completely unable to oppose it. Now the question would be, how would ExTyrannomon defend itself? That question is what ultimately made me ring many bells. As I said, the Digimon is of the vaccine type, but has the Nightmare Soldiers gene, right? The special attack of ExTyrannomon is called Dark Matter, on which the being inside the costume expels a corrosive dark ball, meaning the attack is darkness, showing once more that the genes that shape a Digimon are ultimately what defines their nature. Now allow me to get a little deeper in this to make you understand why I believe ExTyrannomon is probably an evil Digimon. In a previous episode we talked about the champion Digimon OGREMON. Haven't you noticed that its ultimate Digivolution, Digitamamon, has the same mysterious eyes which can be found in ExTyrannomon, at least in the Tyrannomon plush. The following was said about Digitamamon. Digitamamon is a creature whose body is hidden inside an eggshell, which is broken in a way that exposes only its yellow eyes and green legs. Inside the eggshell is its true form, a ghost-like creature which has a red mouth and purple arms with 5 fingers on each hand. They are probably referring to DIGIVOLUTION, a dark Digivolved Digitamamon who is at the Mega level, truly one of the most evil Digimon in the Digimon world. Evil to a point it is told it's a being like Pandora's box, filled with all the evils of this world. Why am I saying this? Well, you see, it is said that Dark Tyrannomon, one of the most wicked Tyrannomon in existence, if not the most wicked, and that is all due to it being struck by a mysterious virus, is the prior form of ExTyrannomon, which would make lots of sense. I say that because both have 2 genes in common, the Nightmare Soldiers and that other unknown DNA sequence, which could make the next Digivolution look like a random Digivolution. So my question is, what if that Digimon hiding inside the Tyrannomon plush is also a being of evil like DIGIVOLUTION? The signs which show that the Digimon inside has an evil nature are already there with Digitamamon as an example. They have the same eyes. And I've got another example, GARURUMON. Another being can be seen inside the costume, but not much is known about said creature. We do know that GARURUMON is of an evil nature. Its personality is the epitome of wickedness and is malicious and treacherous. So what I'm wondering now, ExTyrannomon does not have a Mega level Digivolution. But we do know that these eyes inside of it make it very likely that the Digimon is of the darkness type. So what could we get from this Digimon's Digivolution? Will it be a sort of enhanced Dark Tyrannomon that will signify a similar Pandora's box like DIGIVOLUTION? Or will we get something entirely different? Share your opinions down in the comment section. Hi guys, this is the end of the video. Again, allow me to apologize for forgetting to mention ExTyrannomon in the Explaining Tyrannomon video. It deserved to at least be mentioned because the Digimon is very interesting. I like how it fits in the Digimon universe and how it's pretty difficult to predict the road it could take in its next form. Also, I do want to share with you that I really like the puppet type Digimon, even if it sometimes look like a forgotten type. They have so much potential, like many other Digimon, and so I'm hoping the Digimon developers are going to go really far with this type. Do not forget that they have no direct ancestor among the 10 legendary warriors, making it all the more interesting because they have the freedom now to get their own ancestor or at least their own background story. So please write down in the comment section how you think about ExTyrannomon and how you look at the puppet type Digimon, what you expect from them, what you hope the Digimon developers are going to give them. Let us know. Tell us how you'd like to see them being developed. Also, make sure to drop a like and to subscribe to this channel for more Digimon content. And if you're new, know that all the Digimon videos in this channel are placed in a particular Digimon playlist, or particular playlists, let me say it like that, which are always updated. That way you can catch up on newer and older videos.